Kristine, I have until today's show to make alterations to my NFL predictions. And I want you to archive this. Hold me to it. This is fun. Last year I was very, very accurate in one of the conferences. I forget which one. I think it was the NFC, not the AFC. We got 4 of the division winners right. Of the 8, 4 or 5 of the division winners right. We got 2 of our surprise teams right, and then we whiffed on a couple. So let's go to the NFC. I've got one change in the NFC. So we start with the Nfc East, no changes. I like Philadelphia to win. I think Dallas gets beat by Philadelphia twice, so therefore the Eagles win the division. But I think the Cowboys could be better than next year, but the schedule's tougher, so the record won't be as good. I do not buy the New York Giants. Offensive line is average. I don't know that much about Ben McAdoo to trust him. Eli throws too many picks, too dependent on OBJ. And I think Washington's offense has to kind of regroup, losing Pierre Garçon and Deshaun Jackson. NFC North, I have as the exact same. I strongly considered elevating the Packers, but I think they win the division going away. The Bears are awful. That is obvious. NFC South, I'm rolling the dice here. I think the Panthers rebound. Cam did not handle success very well. MVP to the toilet. Atlanta, I strongly considered a move to 9-7. But in the end, their schedule's tough. And I think they lose to the Panthers and the Buccaneers at least once. In the NFC West, I have made a change. I think Seattle is easily the best team. Arizona's rebuilding more than they want to admit. But the Niners, I think I'm too ambitious. I had them at 6-10. I'm going to scale them back to 5-11. I just don't think they have the offensive components necessary to win 6 games. So that means I have to add a win somewhere. Let's go to the AFC. New England at 14-2. I think they're only going to be challenged in about 4 to 5 games. Tonight, actually one of them. I think Jay Cutler is a reasonable facsimile with a better arm than Ryan Tannehill. Buffalo 7-9. Tyrod Taylor can win some games, and they really do have a nice offensive line and can run the football, and it's tough to win in Buffalo in November, December. They'll win some home games late. The Jets are awful. Here's where I made my change. I'm going to add a win to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I look at their schedule, 11-5 to 12-4. The rest of the division will be the same. Same with the AFC South. I dropped the Colts to 7-9. Titans win the division. AFC West the same. So here is my AFC playoff predictions. I have elevated the Steelers to 12-4, not 11-5. But my AFC playoff predictions remain the same. And my NFC playoff predictions likewise remain the same. That hold me to it. That is how I see the NFL season transpiring. Now, it was interesting because I thought, okay, I'm going to dock the Niners a win, even though I like John Lynch, the GM, Kyle Shanahan. I chose the Steelers over the Green Bay Packers to add an extra win for a very simple reason. I really like Pittsburgh's schedule. It's really easy to start. Cleveland, hosting Minnesota, and at the Bears. And then the 3 toughest games they play, Tennessee, Green Bay, and New England, are all at home. Meanwhile, I think the Packers have one of the toughest starts in the NFL, Seattle at home, and Atlanta and Cincinnati. And Cincinnati's a team that can run the football and they can keep it away from Aaron Rodgers. Then 2 weeks later, they're at the Dallas Cowboys, and 3 weeks later, they're at the Minnesota Vikings. That's about as tough a schedule in the first 6 weeks as there is. And then, by the way, in late November, it gets tough again. Baltimore at Pittsburgh, Tampa, and at Carolina. And they end the year at Detroit. And the Lions are pretty pesky at home with Matt Stafford. So I think Green Bay and Pittsburgh win their divisions. But when I reduced a game for the San Francisco 49ers, I had to pick another win. So I figured, let's go to the top of the NFL. Packers, Steelers. I can't give New England any more wins. And I'm choosing Pittsburgh. And I've said this. I think New England and Pittsburgh meet in the AFC Championship, and I'm not sure Tennessee and Oakland are that close. And I think they're the closest, and I don't think they're that close. And in terms of the NFC, I think Green Bay and Seattle are the 2 best teams. I think dark horses are the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. But I think there are 4 teams in the National Football League that have largely separated from everybody else. Seahawks, Packers, Patriots, Steelers. And the NFL does a remarkable job to sell parity. But if you look at the playoffs, last year it was 11 out of the 12 teams had what you would consider a franchise quarterback. Houston was the exception. They've got a tremendous roster, and J.J. Watt's back this year. Hi, everybody, and thanks for watching. We want you to subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the herd, or go watch a few segments from the newest show on FS1, First Things First, with Chris Carter and Nick Wright.